following takes place shortly after Khalil's viewing of Hardcore Henry.
Hey, you're the Khalil kid, right?
Yeah?
Have you done your Hardcore Henry review yet?
No. I literally just got out of the theater.
Alright, good. To do a Hardcore Henry review, you're gonna have to know what it's like to be Henry. That means you gotta kill some people. And I know just the people. I've located the writing table Batman v Superman. Let's go.
Alright. Let's do this, I guess. Hey! Look at me! I'm Batman because I'm about to commit mass murder! I hope none of your moms are named Martha! Woo! That looks 10 times more real than any Zack Snyder explosion. Alright, whose idea was it to add Doomsday? Get off! What did you contribute to the script?
I decided to kill Jimmy Olsen!
Screw you! Get that gun out of my face! My name's Khalil, but I guess it's okay since you crashed. This for that stupid email!
Yeah, well, that's just like, your opinion, man.
Hardcore Henry
Was written and directed by Ilya Nishilar, and it's shot entirely from the first person. That means the entire movie, the main character, we're seeing through his eyes. That is what is on the screen. You see his hands, it's like a first-person shooter, Call of Duty, and it's inspired by the short film / music video of Bad Motherf, which was also directed by Ilya Nishilar, which is also a really, really well-done music video. For a short music video, it was done super well. I'll leave a link to that down in the description. So essentially, you are Henry in this movie. You play the main character.
In Hardcore Henry, you wake up as you receive robotic limbs. An evil corporation kidnaps your wife, and you must save her and stop them from creating an evil super army.
Yeah, the story isn't all that deep, but I mean, for a movie like this, does it really have to be? The only actor in this movie that I really, really want to talk about is Charlton Copley. You probably know him from his breakout performance in District 9 and a whole lot of other Neil Blomkamp films. For reasons I don't want to spoil here, you see a very wide range of acting from this guy, and he kills it in this movie. I really don't think Hardcore Henry would have worked without Charlton Copley. Honestly, he's that good. He's extremely good. I mean, this guy deserves something. He's not gonna win an Oscar because this is a movie titled Hardcore Henry, but he should win something. I want to make this guy a tray of pizza rolls, and I'm gonna bring him that tray of pizza rolls and say, "Hey, Charlton Copley, good job." And the only character that I had like a big problem with was the main villain. Like, he was ridiculous, but not a fun ridiculous. It's just odd. It's just weird. It was a weird performance, and you know what? He honestly reminded me of Tommy Wiseau, from the Citizen Kane of bad movies, The Room. And once I noticed that he had similarities with Tommy Wiseau, I couldn't unsee it. I really couldn't. The entire time I was just waiting for him to go, "You're tearing me apart, Henry!" And ultimately, you do play Henry. There isn't just one actor portraying Henry. Like, it's just a camera setup on either an actor, a stunt guy, or a camera guy. A lot of people are worried that they might get motion sickness because of the way this movie's done. But honestly, they had a really cool stabilizing setup. And like, all of the worries that you have about this movie are worries that the filmmakers had about this movie. So they found ways to deal with all of that. And it looks nice. It looks well done. And this is coming from a guy who hates shaky cam. I hate it. I hate the use of shaky cam. I hate found footage movies. They take me out of the film. I just do not have a fun time with shaky cam and found footage movies. But this movie I really enjoyed. It's honestly remarkable what they achieved with this movie. There's so many shots where I'm like, how did they do that? How did they do that? How did they even accomplish that? Which is something I really respect in a movie. If you make me think about how you did that and not just going, "Oh, they use CGI. Oh, they use CGI. Oh, they use CGI." You did a good job. And this film could have very easily been just another CGI-filled bull crap movie. Like the entire thing could have taken place on a green screen with just like CGI arms coming out and shooting stuff and random fake explosions. But the majority of the stunts done in this movie were real, and it really makes you feel like you're there. Whenever Henry was running, I was shaking my legs a little bit. Every time he was getting shot, I was like dodging bullets just slightly, even though I was probably moving into the bullets, because that would be my luck in those situations. And even near the beginning of the film, he stubs his toe on something, and I felt it. Like, out of everything in this movie, like people getting shot, people getting their throats slit, grenades blowing up people, near the beginning, when he stubs his toe, that was what got the most reaction out of me. He stubbed his toe, and I was like, oh yeah, that's not my toe. Cool. Which is really what this movie accomplished. Was just, oh, I'm so excited. I'm getting shot out. Explosions. Oh yeah, that's not me. Cool. And with the low budget of $10 million, they accomplished some really, really cool scenes. There was one scene in particular that I did have a problem with, though. But what makes it okay is I watched an interview, and the director was asked if he had any problems with anything in the movie. And the one problem that he had was that one scene that I didn't like as well. And he explains what happened. See, the reason why I didn't like it was because the entire thing is all practical stuff and real stunts. And there's a scene where there's just out of nowhere a CGI grenade launcher just going doom, 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 and then just really bad explosions. And I was like, this isn't this movie. Why did they do that? Why did they feel the need to do that? But Ilya Naishuller went on saying that the reason why that happened was because he had a real grenade launcher. It was supposed to shoot doom, doom, doom 3 times. But what happened was only one shot out, and the other 2 were duds. So all the stuntmen were just like watching what was happening, and one of the explosions went off, but the other 2 did not. So the stuntmen were just like, ah! And with that one explosion going off, to reset the scene, it would have taken them 5 hours, which with a $10 million budget, they just did not have that time. So they had to. They just had to use CGI there. And even the director hates it. So that's something I'll let slide a little bit. I feel like maybe they could have just taken out that scene, but I'll let it slide just a little bit this time. Just a little bit. This movie also had some amazing music in it. Like, I was very surprised by some of their song choices, but every song in the movie just had me bobbing my head. I was bobbing my head practically the entire time, just bobbing my head. Even the opening credits were amazing. Like, these opening credits are probably in my top 5. Like, they're almost as good as Deadpool's opening credits. So no, it's not a perfect film. There's a lot of plot points that just make no sense, and it feels like a video game. If you're a fan of video games, you'll probably like this movie. Or if you're a fan of the idea of video games, you might like this movie. It is not for everyone. Do not go see this with, I don't know, your mom or your grandma. This is a guy's night movie. You're not really going to this movie to get an in-depth story, though. You're going to this movie to kick some ass. So for that reason, I'm going to give Hardcore Henry an 8 out of 10. It's definitely a theater experience, though. Like, there's a lot of things that I just don't think would have worked as well if I didn't see it on the big screen. Like, watching the Blu-ray of it just will not have the same effect. So if you want to see this movie, go see it in theaters now. Don't wait for the Blu-ray. Although, I mean, still buy the Blu-ray. I feel like I'm still going to buy the Blu-ray because that's going to have some awesome bonus features in it. This movie's also freaking hilarious. Like, there's a lot of things that I was laughing at, and there's some really, really dark humor in this movie. Although, maybe that says something about me. Because there were scenes that were brutal. And I was the only one laughing in the theater. And it made me think about who I am as a person. I also want to go on record by saying this isn't the first-person film.
Say what?
A lot of people are saying, ooh, it's the very first-person film. I guess it's the first-person action film. But there's another movie, Russian Ark, that was shot entirely in first person. Not only was it shot entirely in first person, but it was shot in one shot. And that's Russian Ark. Look that movie up. It's not the most enthralling movie, but just the idea that they got all of this done in one shot is pretty amazing. And that was also made by Russians. By the way, Hardcore Henry, it's a Russian guy making it. Mostly Russians making this movie. Russians are crazy, man. Anyway, thank you again for watching. Hopefully next week I'll have a Jungle Book review up. Ooh, it's the bare necessities. Also, another special thanks to all the subscribers. We have over 100 now. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. That makes me happy. So, as a thank you, I released a little montage video of all of the movies that made me me. So go check that out. It's called Movies That Molded Me. Yada yada yada. Anyway, as always,
Watch movies, my friends.